And what we're going to see is, Jesus says in verse 8, and look over here what he says in verse 8, all these are the beginning of, and this word right here is the word in English, birth pains. These birth sorrows, these are the beginning of birth pains, and I'm going to show you that. And over here on this board, I have listed off just 10. Now, there are many of these. I mean, I'd say there are probably 24 of them. But let me show you these 10. Jesus tells us global travel will become just unbelievable at the end of days. Global knowledge will explode. Weather will become known around the planet. People will be communicating with one another right to the end, and not just talking, they're going to be seeing. It's kind of like audio and visual. There are going to be worldwide or global pandemics. Money and tracking is going to become digital, and it's going to become globally interlinked. There is going to be global weapons of mass destruction. Jesus says in Matthew 24:22, if he didn't stop this, we'd all kill each other. In other words, there are going to be weapons that can wipe out, well, think about historically. In Jesus' time, how did you conquer a nation? You marched in slowly with your legions, and you slowly built up siege works, and you made forts, and you came and battled during the day and rested at night. Now, hypersonic missiles can get a city-destroying missile anywhere on the surface of the earth in less than an hour. And once it comes down, it's coming so rapidly at 5, 6, 7, and 8,000 miles an hour that it's much faster than a bullet. You know how you can't really dodge a bullet? If snipers shoot at you, once they aim, you can't move fast enough. You can't miss hypersonic missiles. You know what Jesus said? When they're loading thermonuclear devices on hypersonic missiles, they're going to destroy each other. And no flesh. See what it says in verse 22? Let me get the pointer over here. Verse 22. And unless those days should be shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. Weapons of mass destruction. Back over here, there's going to be a global longing for peace and prosperity. That's what Paul tells us. That's going to be the announcement for the Antichrist. There's going to be a worldwide or global hatred for the Jews. In fact, Zechariah tells us every nation on earth is going to be opposed to Israel. Right now, only about 95% of them on earth, of the nations, of the UN, are opposed to Israel. At the end, it's going to be 100%. Israel's not going to have the United States and the United Kingdom and Australia and New Zealand and other favorable nations to them. And finally, I saved the best for last. There's going to be global evangelism on an unprecedented scale so that everyone is going to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. Do you know what? Jesus said that's what it looks like when I return. Those 10 that you see, those trends, those beginning small and getting bigger and stronger and wider and greater. Guess what? Jesus said those are what the world looks like when he returns. Every single one of those are present today. And every one of those on the board are getting bigger, stronger, and wider, and more visible than ever before.